high-grade Gundam Age-1 Full Glansa. Hey, what's up again, everybody? And I just have to pause because it's been a long time since I've done that, and it may be a long time again, as it's time to take a look at the high-grade Gundam Age-1 Full Glansa from the third generation of Gundam Age. Mid-April 2013 release. It's 1,600 yen here from Bandai. It's going to be including a Gundam Tri-Age card, which gets in the way of the box, but otherwise you can see the name here in English and Japanese. Most importantly, number 35 in the fairly long-running high-grade Gundam Age line, and conceivably the last, at least for now. And don't forget, you can get this kit and lots more great stuff, even plastic gyoza, from the good folks at HobbyLink Japan, and there's full links below. Now, this has been one of my most anticipated kits for a while, and that's for a few reasons. A, I'm crazy about lead Gundams, and the Age-1 in high grade is just a quality kit no matter how many times I put it together. Between the Sparrow and the Titus and the regular, and if you want to go as far as doing something like the flat or even a Daiki form or something like that. But more importantly, it's time to focus on the end of the high grade line and the end of the series, because in the climax we had father, grandfather, and son there, in the form of the Dark Hound with Asuno getting off his accounting course, and we get to see Kyo leading things out there in the Age FX, and it's just amazing that we had Flit the whole time in the Age-1, but at least he got some upgrades in the second generation, but it wasn't until the third when the Age-1 went full armored Alex, as it clearly has some inspiration there, throwing on some great red blasters similar to what we saw in the second generation, which is why this is the full Monty. For the box tour, though, it's a lost opportunity, as they're going to be showing you off the familiar white, blue, red, and yellow there from the tricolors, but basically they're going to be showing you off the regular plates that we've already seen 3 times for the HG Age-1. They should be showing off the new plates there, but of course we're going to get in the box and see them in just a moment. But in terms of the MS itself, what are we looking at? Well, the Age-1 already had lots of similarities to the RX-78-2, as it should, and of course that had some similarities to the Alex, which Emerald would have gotten if things had gone a different way. And here we get to see some cool looking purple armor there that's going to be attached onto the legs, the waist, and the chest and the shoulders there. Some big shields attached onto the forearms and on the back there. If you're a fan of strike type backpacks there, or if you wanted to go specifically launcher or blast impulse, something like that, you can see that you're going to have the white, the gray, and the red back there to go along with an L type set of wings there that's going to be pretty small though and understated, but you'll be able to swing those around for great effect, and it's going to look good in no matter what position you've got it seems. As you can see here from the Action Base 2, bringing the big guns around, but the focus is going to be on the armaments here, as you've got the shield rifles to replace the old school Dodds there. They're going to be attached onto the forearms there. It looks like 3 colors, hopefully of actual plastic, and you can combine them with the beam sabers to make them look even more deadly. Missile launchers is something I didn't realize it had until I saw this kit here, so you can send those out of the legs itself, but here's the Ale-inspired, well, perhaps Strike, perhaps Impulse-inspired Glastro launcher, which is going to be looking good. Primarily red there for the wings, but at least the guns are going to have 3 colors, which become evident when it looks like you can bring them out from under the arms there and deploy the handles and actually have them in hand. So shield rifles, Glastro rifle, or beam sabers, they're all going to be looking pretty cool in terms of posing there. Nice and dynamic, which is good because of the posability that we've gotten with these kits and the great engineering. And it's sort of cool if you take a look at this main camera. The eye itself is actually going to be provided by foil seals, and it looks like they're going to be gold instead of the more familiar from Generation 1 green. And over here you can see the armaments listed there in Japanese, and the story as how you got to pass on the Age system to the Age-2 and then to the Age-3 and on to Kyo there. But more importantly, that they're going to be taking some technology as they went on, which you'd think would make sense in a 100-year war, and be incorporating it into the Age-1 flat. With spectacular CG there, this could have been the cover. I think the cover looks spectacular already, but this icon right here is definitely going to be catching the eye with all the big guns out. And here you can see him without any lining whatsoever. To check it out, it looks like he's going to have gray and purple down there on the legs and on the waist section. The rifle should have 3 different colors there attached onto the forearm. And on the back, you'll see the white, red, and gray nicely interspersed there, looking good even with no effort when you put it together. So it's inside the box we go, where, check that out on the top, red, seals, gray, and an interesting kind of blue there. That's going to make up the Alex armor, Gundam Tri-Age, Tri-Cards, and the familiar A-plate there, to go along with the white and the gray for the inner frame, beam sabers, and a manual, Full Glansa. The A-plate should be familiar here for those of you that are building high-grade Age-1s, and if you follow the manual, you're going to be throwing out the shield, so why not build it yourself? They also give you this part here so that you can make the flat out of plastic, although you're also going to be having a seal option. This has no number on it, and you'll notice that over here they're going to be adding on some additional white plastic down here. It's cool to see that you're going to be building up a regular Age-1 normal, including things like putting seals on over the knees and using the regular white shoulders there. Again, it's going to be the shield parts that are going to get thrown out. Unless you've got your old manual around, or you want to go to Dalong and check it out, or you could just build up the Dodge rifle and the shield all by yourself with no instructions. Most of the inner frame, in fact all of it, is going to be used as is normal, and you're still going to be getting the bonuses of a dynamic left hand there. But my goodness, did Bandai get some good work out of these high-grade Age-1 plates. They're all the way up to K, and we're just starting the new stuff here. It's got a very nice color to it here. It's going to be a little bit lighter than navy blue would be, that's for sure. And there's going to be some good details sketched all around here. For the forearm blasters there, you can see lots of lighting possibilities. The chest armor is going to be looking good, and the shoulder parts are actually going to have this neat little trick where you can deploy the missiles down here by moving those hatches there. Lots of black options, and overall in terms of lighting down there, and some good details if you wanted to go ahead and paint it and add even more. And the red parts here for the Glastro launcher are going to be on the L plate. You can see that they're going to be quite large here, the way they're actually going to be protruding from there, so you'll want to be careful when you're picking this kit up here. You can put in some lining opportunities there on the wings. I'm going to probably just go with brown there. But you've got the big parts there for the guns, which are going to be looking good, and hopefully it's the kind of thing, it's not quite the same as what we saw in the second generation, but perhaps you can just make a few modifications if you want to go back and create all 3 generations of Flit. And amazing that they're all the way up to the 13th letter of the alphabet here, with M bringing us home after the Age-1 Titus Sparrow Normal. The Razor is going to be excluded, and now the Full Glansa here. If you take a look, you've got the big guns here, which are going to have parts that are going to attach on all over the place, while still exposing a lot of gray. That's actually huge chunks of plastic there, although you notice that they're going to be completely hollow on the inside. For the forearm blasters, they're going to be looking good there, as you can see where they're going to attach on to where the shield would normally be attached onto. You've got some parts here which are going to look good when they're added on to the waist sections there, and some neat looking round parts that should add some good details to the big guns, and there's some more small gray parts there. Everything amazing that they've been planning this all the way out from the beginning to have 13 plates when you get to put them all together. Here's the seals, which are labeled special for the Full Glansa there. You've got your regular knee covers, very acceptable for high grades, you'd think. These parts here are going to go onto the launcher, and you'll notice that you've got the camera lenses there in gold to go along with gold eyes. You're also going to have a green seal. We'll have to check it out if that's going to go on the Dodds, and a few other nice black details that you can add on. But if you want to recreate the flat, you can do it either with plastic from the A-plate, or just go ahead and put on this white seal. Here's the manual with that great looking cover art there, Darkhound and the Age-FX, and who's that man? Yes, he's definitely aged a lot since fighting Dezel the first time there, but that Full Glansa is looking pretty spectacular. When you open it up, it's going to be 5 actual pages here, starting with the manual, or starting with the plates laid out here. Well, you'll notice the big X's are going to be primarily on the Dodds and the shield parts there. Everything else is going to get utilized, which is great. And here you can see for the chest that you're going to be putting on the white seal number 2. And after you build up the chest as we know it, that's when you can start adding on K and M plates. So you're going to have multiple different colors there added on for the Alex orientation there. The head will build up as usual, but it's neat to see the shoulders there. The B parts are going to be attached on, and then you're going to take K there and attach on 2 different pieces that are going to go do a good job of overhanging and covering up the shoulder there. And then you're going to add on another one with the 2 small parts there, which will come into play when you actually want to launch the missiles. The legs get built up as usual down here for the lower section before you put on the K armor there. More K on the front with some different color differentiation there that you can also use to expose the missiles, and some seals to go on the back as a bonus. With the waist section going the route of taking the white parts there and plugging them into the K armor there. And you can see that you're still going to have the yellow parts as usual exposed. Hopefully it's going to be looking good, and some of those parts down there that I mentioned you could paint, you can also go over with seals. Love the simplicity of this color splash page. Armaments, 4 big guns, boom, what more do you need to say? Space Pirates and the Vegans, the teams are going to be differentiated down there. Hello, son. There you've got the gold camera lens there, you've got the hand parts that are looking dynamic, and otherwise the same pictures that we've already seen around the box. And though it's no transforming MS here, you can see that there's going to be a lot of gray attaching on here when you're actually putting together the launcher. Those big gray parts, though, it looks like they're going to actually be filled in by the red parts there. So they're not going to be looking totally hollow. And you're also going to be adding on white parts with some gray seals there, just add some more color differentiation. They're going to look really good in terms of details. It's a shame they're going to be mostly hidden in the back, unless you want to bring them around there. Here you've got the forearm blasters, and when you put those all together there, they're also going to be showing you how you're going to take out these small parts and position them if you want to expose the missile hatches on the shoulders, and you're just going to swivel them down if you want to go for the knees. And they're explaining, yes, you've got a 90-degree swing mechanism. Bring them up there. They're not going to be showing off too much red unless you want to look on the side, but you can actually hold them in hand. And to the final color there, you've got urine, the unfortunately named influence of all of Flit's arguably genocidal tendencies over the course of the war there. The HFX starring Kyo, and if you're interested in the color scheme down here, especially the armor is going to be purple 45, white 20, gray 20, and indie blue for 15. And in the pack we go. Oh, it's not the Full Glansa. Ground Gundam RX-79G. From a famous team, too. Lots of fun for the unbox here, as I never get tired of seeing these well-designed A-plates, and when you're adding on white, purple, red, and gray, it's just going to be a lot of fun, as there's just some very well-carved pieces in here. Can't wait to see how the outer armor is going to work, and how the launchers are going to actually work in hand there. And the seals here are going to be something that adds to the kit, as opposed to serving as a detriment. So anyway, I can't wait to see this, almost the end of the high-grade line, well, as far as we know. Anyway, everybody, stick around, lots more, and see it all put together. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna miss that. Bye.
I'm gonna borrow this and be a real full armor Gundam.
G1 Devastator, green. And then they just switched to yellow.